girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their
Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we're checking out the long-awaited Pink Studio Final Fantasy VII Remake 1/4 scale resin statue of Tifa. So guys, I've finally got the piece in hand, and I've got to say it's such a nice statue. You know, I've been covering this piece for such a long time now, so I'm just so happy to finally have it in hand. And yeah, I just couldn't be more happy with how it turned out. It's just a truly incredible statue. This is pretty much where I will be making future videos. So yeah, I hope you guys like the new setup, and with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, stay tuned guys. Okay, so first up, let's take a quick look at the box. So we have a pretty nice photo of the statue itself on the front. We have the name of the character down here. We have the name of the company, Pink Studio. As for the sides and the top, it's just the name of the company, once again, Pink Studio. And on the other sides, it's pretty much the exact same. So yeah, overall, pretty nice box. So the inside of the packaging is pretty cool. We have these super heavy duty straps, which go all the way around the styrofoam, which I've never seen this before on any statue out there. So you know, this is a really nice touch. It just really helps to keep the statue secure inside the packaging, which I think is a nice touch. So yeah, I'm very happy that they included that. And just a quick look at the inside of the styrofoam, in case you guys want to check it out. But yeah, anyhow guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the statue. So now I've got to say, assembling the statue is pretty straightforward. You really shouldn't have too much of an issue with building the statue itself. The only problem which I had was on the clothing. So straight out of the box, the statue comes pretty much naked. It doesn't have any clothing at all. So you have to fit the clothing onto the figure by yourself, which proves pretty difficult because the clothing doesn't really line up all that well. It's not a very good fit onto the figure. As you guys can see, there's a seam line along the side of the clothing, which you need to match up. But straight out of the box, it doesn't really match up all that well. So you may need to use a hairdryer or some hot water, which is the method that I used. So now, I think the head sculpt looks great. I really like it a lot. I know some people don't like the head sculpt at all, and they don't really like how the final product turned out. But in my opinion, I really like it a lot. I do admit the skin is a little bit red, which was pretty much one of the main complaints on the statue itself. I really don't have too much of an issue with it. I think it still looks great nonetheless. So yeah, the eyes are pretty nicely painted in there. You can see the eyebrows, even the eyelashes painted around there. She's got some blush like around the cheeks. I do think the red is maybe a little bit too much around her eyes. Some people pointed out that she looks high or drunk, which is not too far from the truth. But anyhow, this is how it looks. I like it, you know, that's the main thing. If you purchase these statues yourself, the main thing is that you like it. It doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. As long as you're happy with it, then that's all that matters, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's buying these statues and you're the one who's paying for it. So yeah, the main thing is that you like the statue yourself. The hair itself is pretty nicely sculpted. You can see all the strands of hair so finely sculpted in there, and it goes all the way down here to the back. So now the hairpiece is pretty fragile, so just be careful. There's a lot of thin pieces, like these super thin pieces at the side and along the back. So yeah, just be very, very careful that you don't break them. There's a super thin piece here at the side of the ear, which yeah, is very close to the neck. So just be careful not to, you know, scratch the paint when you're fitting the head sculpts onto the figure. Yeah, so here's a look at the body piece moving down. This here pretty iconic white shirt piece. It's even got like a pretty nice texture, as you guys can see, like this linen texture. I'm really not sure of the name, but it's got like all these lines running down. It's got some nice paint jobs in there. It's not just completely painted white. There's bits of grey, like bits of black in there. Nice bit of shading. I mean, even the fingers are so nicely done. Pretty realistic looking. Even the nails. Check out the nails. They're like almost reflective. And here we have this gauntlet piece, the glove. Moving on here to the stomach piece. She's even got some nice muscle definition sculpted in there. As you guys can see, it looks quite realistic, I would say. So the skirt piece is pretty tricky to fit onto the figure. There's a tiny piece which fits in between her legs, and on my statue it just did not line up whatsoever. So as I mentioned before, you're going to need some like hot water or a hairdryer to heat up the resin. Then you just quickly fit it onto the figure and it should stay. Also, these are pieces like these straps which fit from the skirt piece all the way up here around her neck. These are super fragile and you can easily snap them if you're not careful. I mean, it's a pretty smooth paint job for the most part, but you can just see some different tones of paint around the knees, which look pretty nice. And here we have the boots, these shoes, which I am particularly impressed with. They're just so nicely sculpted. They've also got like a nice texture, which makes it look like, almost makes it look like leather, which I think is very impressive. And the socks, as you can see, they've also got a texture as well, like this kind of like fabric wool texture. And here we have the back with this cactar at the back, which of course is removable. He just fits onto the base by a peg. Same goes for the Tifa statue. She just fits onto the base by a peg and I think a magnet as well. But yeah, here's a look at the base itself. So let me just give you guys a little close-up at this base. I also love the light up feature. As you guys can see, I've got the lights on right now. So at the top, around the ring, is lit up like this type of orange, like yellow type of color. It looks pretty cool. And at the sides here we have the stained glass windows, which as you can see light up. Which I'm so happy that they included this, because at one stage they actually took off the stained glass windows and they just had them blank, which didn't look that good at all. So I'm so happy that they put them back. As you can see, it's got some nice details in there. Very impressive. And here we have the front with this door, which is painted gold. And as you can see, we have this kind of triangular piece, which let me just see if I can show you guys this really quick. So you just pop it off like so, and you can switch the light feature on and off by the tiny little button. So let me just give you guys a quick demonstration. So you just turn it off like so, and you just turn it on just like that. So yeah, pretty straightforward. It's nothing too fancy, but you know, it works pretty well. So let's just turn that back on like so, and let's get the little cap back on, which is held on by a magnet. As you can see, yeah, pretty efficient. I do like it a lot. But yeah, anyhow, that's a look at the statue from the front. And here's the statue from the side. So we have a nice profile of the face. I just love this sculpting so much. I'm super impressed. Now, one issue with this statue, which some people had, as you guys can see, just at the base of the head, you can see this pretty noticeable seam line. I mean, the whole head sculpt is removable. You can take it off. From the front, you really can't see the seam line whatsoever. It's just from this side. You can just see that line. So I guess that's one issue with the statue, if you guys are, if you guys care about that. So we have the side of the body piece with, once again, the pretty noticeable line at the side of the top, like the shirt piece. There's a look at the hand, the gloves, and the armor pieces right here. I mean, it's even got some nice weathering to make it look old, like almost rusted. And this long flowing hairpiece, which goes all the way down here. I don't think it was this long in the game, I really can't remember, but this is how it looks. It's pretty elegant, it looks really good. And once again, as I mentioned before, we have all these thin pieces of resin, which are super, super brittle. So just be very, very cautious about that. We can also see the seam line at the side of the skirt piece. I mean, there was like a massive, massive gap, and you could see like through down to the skin. So yeah, just definitely use hot water or hairdryer before you assemble the clothing. Here we have the boots. I just love the design. I just think they've done such a nice job on the statue. This was like the only statue which I was interested in picking up. So I guess we have a QC issue here. As you guys can see, the light from the base is kind of shining through the cracks on the rim of the base. I mean, they're not so much cracks, it's more like the light is shining through the resin. It's a pretty easy fix. You just paint over it with a bit of grey and it should hide the lights. Once again, it really doesn't bother me because it's such an easy fix. But yeah, I just thought that I should mention that in case you guys want to see. And here's a look at these beautiful stained glass windows. These nice details. So many colors in there. And here's a look at the bottom of the base itself. And we have this awesome hairpiece. All the sculpting in there. It is painted pretty black. It doesn't really have too many shades apart from black. I wish they kind of, you know, maybe added some different tones in the hair, just to give it a bit more volume. But nonetheless, it still looks pretty good, and it kind of gives off a nice kind of matte finish in the light, as you guys can see. Side of the arm. It looks like she almost has some like materia embedded into the glove. I really don't know if it is materia, but it looks pretty cool, like the little green orbs. So I'm probably not going to be able to show the cast off. It's just, you know, if I show it, the video will probably get taken down. So I do apologize that I cannot show the cast off. But anyhow, here's a look at the shoes and the side of the cactar. Get a little close up here for you guys. Yeah, I'm just so happy to finally have this. I think I've been waiting for this statue for like a year. So, you know, it's been a pretty long time coming. I'm just very, very happy to finally have it in hand. So this is the back of the statue, and you just have a nice look at the hairpiece, like this long flowing hairpiece which goes all the way down to like the back of her legs, which kind of ends here with this ponytail, this red like ribbon around the bottom. It's pretty nicely done. It's all one piece. It's attached onto the head sculpt, which is one solid piece. So I mean, just once again, be super, super careful that you do not drop the headpiece, because it would be pretty, I can imagine it would be pretty devastating if you drop the headpiece in particular. So yeah, definitely display the figure properly, like in a glass cabinet or somewhere sturdy like on your desk. The bottom of her back showing some skin, and the skirt piece. I mean, even look at the texture in here. It's got a very airbrushed look, like super smooth, which some of you guys may or may not like that. I'm just so happy that they decided to add a character. It just makes the base a bit more exciting, you know, just a bit of a bonus. But yeah, that's a look at the base from the back. I think the door is pretty much the exact same, and actually I think it's got some writing here. It doesn't look like you can take it out, but anyhow, that's a look at the back. I think there's like a total of, I think maybe 4 windows on this base, which just really helped to illuminate the whole base. And just a quick look at the bottom of the base. So we have the Pink Studio logo, and I got number 13 out of 199. So I've also got these pieces, which were the exclusive pre-order bonus for the, I think it's like a bikini piece, which is yeah, a little bit weird. I'm not going to display the figure with these, pretty much because it's pretty difficult to get the clothing back off the figure. And you know, I wouldn't even be interested in displaying the figure with these pieces anyway. So yeah, I'm going to leave it as it is, but I just thought I would give you guys a quick look, just in case you guys want to check these out, so you can kind of see how the magnets are held in place just at the edges of the clothing, which I guess is pretty much the exact same on the main clothing itself. We also have this piece, which is the number, the little coin. See if I can get my camera focused up here for you guys. So yeah, as you guys can see, we have a coin of Tifa, and I got number 13 of 199. And on the other side, if I can just turn it over like so, we have the Pink Studio logo, which is very cool. I'm pretty happy that they included that. But anyhow, there's a look at the exclusive pieces in case you guys wanted to check it out. And so just a quick comparison with the Resident Evil Claire Redfield, made by Greenleaf Studios. So yeah, this is such a nice piece. This is pretty much the only other resin statue which I have, which is pretty similar to Tifa. So I just thought I would give you guys a quick comparison. I still haven't even reviewed this figure, so if you guys want to see a review of this piece, then just let me know in the comments below, and I will make that review happen. But yeah, it's such a nice piece. This is the first resin piece which I ever picked up. I think back in March, like 2020. But yeah, that's such a nice statue. I just love the head sculpt. Just look at that amazing face. And here we have the Tifa. I mean, I guess the skin tone is pretty different from Claire. I think her skin tone is like a lot more red, whereas the skin tone on Claire is more pale. I mean, I love both skin tones. I think both statues look great, and I think the bases in particular are pretty similar in terms of scale and size. I've also got the Zombie Hunter Ada Wong by Greenleaf Studios on the way. So I'll probably make a review of that statue once it arrives, but yeah, for now I just thought I would give you guys a quick look at how both of these statues stand. So if you guys are a big fan of Tifa, then I would highly recommend picking up the statue. I mean, it's really up for debate which is the best resin statue of Tifa. But in my opinion, I think this is one of the best, and it's always been the one which I wanted to pick up from day one. So yeah, I highly recommend this piece. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope this review was helpful. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Alright, take it easy guys.